Well, this, as I said in the beginning, is a study in contrast. While India is leading from the front, China is lying through its teeth. First, it tried to hide the outbreak. Then it started lying about the numbers. Then it denied negligence. It spread fake news. And now China insists that the coronavirus did not emerge in China. Unfortunately for them, we at WION have been covering the story from the word go, and we have all the facts on record. We told you yesterday that the Wuhan virus was a pandemic that was made in China. And we made a case for why China should be made to pay for the world's suffering and losses. Let me bring you a quick recap first. Today, more than 127,000 cases have been reported. According to one estimate, this outbreak could cost the world economy $2.7 trillion. Another estimate says that there will be losses worth $3 trillion. Just so you know, there are 12 zeros in 1 trillion, and it's an awful lot of money. Why must the world pay for China's negligence? Why shouldn't China foot the bill? China is at the center of the global supply chains. It routinely mishandles epidemics. It hides the truth. Why should China be allowed to hold the world hostage? If there is one takeaway for the world from this crisis, it is this: create viable alternatives to China. Clearly, China did not like the sound of this. It's flattering to know that at a time when China is going through its worst crisis in recent history, the Chinese government is watching gravitas. Our coverage has rattled Beijing, and now they've blocked us from social media platforms. If they're still watching this show, I would like to tell them that India is not China. In India, we have the freedom of expression. And Beijing cannot browbeat journalists in India. Let me also tell you why our coverage has upset China. Because we have shown the stories that nobody has. Ground reports from Wuhan and Beijing, video proof of the chaotic Chinese response. Proof of China silencing the whistleblower, hiding the true figures, bullying smaller countries, ignoring warnings, influencing WHO decisions on the seriousness of the outbreak and the possibility of this virus being a bioweapon that misfired on China itself. We've covered it all. The Chinese state is not used to such relentless criticism. Its foreign ministry spokesperson has blocked us on Twitter. We wear it as a badge of honor, if I may add. And we are not the only ones facing Chinese action. The US too is on the list. Guess what? Beijing blames the US Army for bringing the coronavirus to Wuhan. You have to see it to believe it.
In the year 157 AD, the Roman soldiers returning from Mesopotamia were blamed for bringing the plague of Galan to Rome. 1863 years later, another troop is being blamed for a pandemic. This time, it is the US Army. And blaming the US Army is none other than China. Believe it or not, China says it was the US Army that brought the coronavirus to Wuhan. Unlike the Romans, the Chinese have no proof. But when has that ever stopped China from breathing fire? Look at this tweet from Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson. Li Jianzhao accused the United States of waging a germ warfare. A classic case of the pot calling the kettle black. Zhao had 3 questions for Washington. WION had just one question for him. We wanted to know the basis of his claim. Did China have any evidence against the US Army? Not only did Zhao not answer our question, he blocked us on Twitter. This Deputy Director General of Information Ministry is not the only one engaging in disinformation campaign. This is Zhao's boss, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chunying. By the way, this blame game is not new. It's been going on for over a month now. First, China blamed the United States for spreading panic. Now it blames the US for spreading the virus too. Global Times, the mouthpiece of the Chinese Communist Party, accused the Trump administration of an immoral conduct. Unfortunately for them, nobody is buying it. China's criminal negligence, followed by a brazen attempt to pass the buck, is not lost on the world. The US hasn't minced words in response. It has lost no opportunity to underscore the Chinese origin of the virus. US President Donald Trump too referred to the Chinese link to the virus during his address from the Oval House. This is a human tragedy of global and unprecedented proportions. China's petty politics is only making it worse. For once, we say countries should emulate America's approach. Bureau Report, WION World is One.